Welcome to this screen bite. Today I'm gonna take linear combination and span. So far we have discussed the definitions of vector spaces. We have defined subspaces. We have given some examples of vector subspaces, and we have seen that how the sets and subsets are not becoming the vector subspaces of a given space. So today we are taking up the notion of linear combination and span in the vector space. The scope of this bite is the linear combination, span of a set, and spanning sets. So these are the three major contents of today's discussion. What is linear combination? The word itself says it is a linear, and combination means it is the group of some vectors which is associated with some constants which are not all zero. So let us see how the linear combination is defined. So if we consider k vectors v1, v2, vk in a vector space, and if we have some constants or real numbers c1, c2, ck belonging to the field f, then if we could represent a vector v as a sum of scalar products of c's and v's, that is c1 v1, c2 v2, c3 v3 and ck vk up to that, then the vector v, which is represented as a sum of the scalar products of these vectors, is called linear combination of such vectors. So why do we need such kind of linear combination of vectors? Because you might have seen during the definition of vector subspace that we had to prove that the alpha u plus beta v belongs to the set W, which means that was a combination of alpha and beta, u and v, that is two vectors, two scalars. We have to generalize it up to the cases of k vectors. So let us see how it is denoted symbolically. So this is the symbol representation of linear combination of these vectors v1 to vk with the help of these c1, c2, ck, and this is the summation form of this linear combination. You might not be very easy in accommodating this notation, but this will ease our discussions in the coming lectures. So we can write this linear combination I equal to 1 to k ci vi, where the I takes the values from 1 to k, and this is the simple scalar product of v with c. For example, if I take 4, 3, 5, a vector, and I take another three vectors 1, 2, 3, 1, minus 1, minus 2, and minus 2, 1, 3, and if I multiply first vector by 3, second by 5, and third by 2, then it is gonna be the sum 4, 3, 5. Let us verify. 3 into 1 3 plus 5 into 1 5 8, and plus minus 2 times 2 4. So 8 minus 4 is 4. So 3 to the 6 minus 5 from this side, it is 1, and 2 plus 1 3. So we can write it 3, and 3 3s are 9, minus 10, that is minus 1, and plus 6, that is plus 5. So we can see that this vector which belongs to the R3 is the linear combination of these three vectors from the R3 space, and these are the values of these constants or real numbers c1, c2, c3. So c1 is 3, c2 is 5, and c3 is 2. So this is the example we have taken for understanding the notion of linear combinations. So let us have a theorem on linear combination. The linear combination we have defined for the vectors v1, v2, vk is not the waste exercise, because if we make a collection of such linear combinations like ai, vi, where I runs from 1 to k, it means a vector v is equal to the sum of all these scalar multiplications of vi with ai. So what are the ai's? Ai are the real numbers. So when we construct a set of this kind, that is the set of all possible linear combinations of these k vectors, then it is not a simple set W, but it is a vector subspace. So when we are saying that it is a vector subspace, we need to verify it. And how do we verify that it is a subspace? And for that we require to meet three different criteria for a subspace. The first criteria we have, the W should not be empty. It should be non-empty. So we can very well see that all the vectors v1, v2, vk are in the set W, so it is not always empty. So we can say that it is a non-empty set. So first criteria of a set being subspace is satisfied. Second, we take two different linear combinations in W. First is AIVI and second is BIVI. Somebody may ask, why have you taken A and B different, whereas you have taken only VI here and VI here? So mind it that these are the vectors which cannot be changed. What we can change is the value of these constants. So that is why in making two different elements in this set of linear combinations, we have to change AI and BI. And that is why we have taken the linear combination I equal to 1 to k AIVI and I equal to 1 to k BIVI, so that their sum. I have used the summation notation because I am very comfortable with this, and I hope you to be comfortable with these notations, because if you are not comfortable, then you can write it in the form of total sum A1 V1 plus A2 V2 plus A and throughout up to AK VK. But it will take much of space and much of time. So to save time, I have used the summation notations. So I equal to 1 to k AIVI plus the summation BIVI, and we can say that two summation can be added by adding the terms lying within that. So if I add these two, I get AIVI plus BIVI, but VI is common element in this, so I can take it out of the bracket and write within the bracket AI plus BI. So we can say that these are the two real numbers from F, and sum of these two real numbers is again a real number, and hence it becomes again a linear combination of these vectors. So we can very well say that the sum of two different elements taken from W also belong to this set W. So second criteria is also possible. So in order to see that all the three criteria are preserved, we have to take a real number C in F, so that we can take the element summation AIVI and multiply it by C, and if we could find it to belong to the set W, then we can say that the third condition is also satisfied. So if this is the constant, if I take it inside it, I can write it C bracket AIVI, which I can always. But the property of vector spaces says that the two real numbers when multiplied by a vector always have the associative property. So I can write it CAI, means multiplying two real numbers first and then multiplying it to VI, or we multiply this vector by these two real numbers one by one. So it is one and the same thing. So I can write C bracket AIVI in equal to CAI outside V. So this is again a linear combination of these vectors Vi, and hence it belongs to W. So all the three criteria are met here. So we can say that the set of collection of, or the collection of all linear combinations of these vectors is again a vector space. So linear combination is not a very simple thing, but it has its significance in the vector spaces. Now we define span. What does it mean by span? So if a set of vectors S of these vectors V1, V2 up to Vk is capable of generating a vector space over a field, then the vector space so generated is called as span of the elements of vectors. So if we could write the elements of a space which are the linear combination of these vectors, then we say that the set is generated by this set S. So here we can say that the W which we have constructed earlier, the collection of all the linear combination, it is the smallest possible subspace which is generated by these numbers. There may be more, but this is the smallest one. So let us see. I can represent this W as a span of this. So how do we represent a span? A span is a word which represents the vector space in the larger sense. So I can also denote it by L of S. So it is a linear span of S. So W set is the span of these K vectors. In the sense that if we have another set W dash, then we call it to be a subset of a superset of this set W if it includes all these vectors. On the other hand, if W dash is any subspace which include these vectors, then this W which we have defined earlier is a subset of this new set W dash. So with this we can say that W is the smallest possible subspace generated by these vectors. So we will be taking next slides where the concept of this span will be. So these are the examples. Any two non-zero and non-collinear vectors in R2. R2 is the two-dimensional plane. Generate entire two-dimensional plane. So if I take the example of these two vectors, that is v1 is 1 1 and v2 is 2 comma minus 1, these are in R2. I can say that rest of the vectors which are in R2 are the linear combination of these two vectors. So hence we can say that all the vectors are linear combinations of these, and hence it is the generated set of or generated space of these two vectors, and we call it the span R square. So here we can see that these are the two vectors, red and green. 1 1 is the one first vector and 2 comma minus 1 is the another vector. Then this black line, black vector, is the sum of these two, that is 1 times this vector and 1 times this vector. I will be getting 3 comma 0. Similarly, if I take 2 times this and 1 times this, it will be 4 times 1. So 4 1 will be the vector like this one, blue one. So similarly, all these vectors can be represented in terms of linear combination of these two vectors, and hence it is the graphical or geometrical representation of span of these two vectors. Next, we come to spanning set. What is spanning set? Let V be a vector space and these are the vectors belonging to this set V. The set of these vectors V1 to Vk is a spanning set of V if it generates the set V. That is, V is a span of these vectors V1, V2 to Vk. In other words, if I take these vectors, then I can represent all the vectors lying in this space V as a linear combination of all these vectors. And if we correlate it with the concepts of matrix, then we can construct a matrix having these vectors as its columns. So the matrix A, which contains these vectors as the column, is called the coefficient matrix or the matrix of these column vectors, which are the span which represent the set called spanning set. So V is generated or spanned by these sets. There is a theorem called let V1, V2, Vk be the vectors in Rn. The set spans R raised to power n if and only if the matrix representation, that is the matrix containing these vectors as the column vectors, then the linear system Ax equal to V is consistent for every V. What does it mean by consistent? It has the solutions, non-trivial solutions. So this is the very important theorem. It requires a proof, but this proof will be taken up in the next lectures. Alternatively, the system of equations Ax equal to b has a solution if we call it a linear combination of column vectors of A, that is v1, v2, vk, and we have written it COLA. It is the column A, column space of the matrix we have considered as a matrix of vectors v1 to vk. X is a vector which is taken for multiplication of A, and this is the right hand side. So if this has a solution, then it will be the linear combination of the column vectors of this with respect to this set. So B is a span of these vectors, and it is the column space of this matrix A. So these are the column of A that spans, that is a span of columns of A, and row A is the notation for span of rows of A. There may be same number of columns and rows in the matrix, so the dimensions of this column A and row A will be same, but it will it can also be different also. But this is not the matter of discussion here, it will be taken up later. Next we come to an example where we will show that all the sets, all the vectors which are given to us may or may not span the R cube. So let us see what happens to this example. We have been given three vectors v1 1 minus 1 4, v2 minus 2 1 3, and v3 4 minus 3 5. And let us see what happens if we could prove that these three vectors span R cube or not. So aim is to solve the linear system of equations, because in the previous slide we had considered the matrix equation Ax equal to b, and in this particular example we have taken Ax equal to v, where v is the vector from the R cube. So A is the matrix of columns v1, v2 and v3. v1 1, negative 1, 4 are taken in the first column, negative 2, 1, 3 are taken in the second column, 4, negative 3, 5 are taken as the third column. We have taken X as A1, A2, A3. In that case, we have written this A into X equal to V. The V is the vector X, Y, Z which belongs to the R cube space. So meaning of this notation is that the first column of matrix times A1, second column of matrix times A2, and third column of this matrix times A3 is equal to this vector. So it is the linear combination of these three vectors. So for this arbitrary V in R cube, from the point of view of matrix algebra, we reduce this notation Ax equal to b in terms of augmented matrix so as to show that it is consistent or not. So consistency check is done only with the help of augmented matrix. So let us see. If we apply some row transformations to this matrix after taking this xyz in the left hand side to make it the augmented matrix, I can find these zeros with the help of some row transformations. And after getting this transformed matrix, we can see that there is no one here in the matrix A which can be put equal to this value. But here is A1 minus 2A2 plus 4A3 equal to X. This is minus A3 equal to minus X minus Y, but no one is there to be written as 7X plus 11Y plus Z. This shows that this system of equations will be consistent only if this term is absent. So we can write this has a solution only when this 7x plus 11y plus z is equal to 0. So when there is a condition upon this x, y and z, it remains, or it ceases to be arbitrary, because an arbitrary vector is that which can assume any value from the set of real numbers contained in this R cube. But here is one restriction, that if x, y and z are to be the linear combination of these vectors, then these values of x, y and z must satisfy this equation. So conditional existence of any vectors does not make the system consistent. So we say that the system is not consistent, and hence this does not span the set or the space R cube. So in next lectures we will be taking up some more examples and the definitions and theorems related to span and basis and dimensions.